Okay, so I'm gonna do another album review. So I'm reviewing "Let's Start a Riot" by Blood on the Dance Floor. So yeah, let's get into this. So this album was released in 2008 by Blood on the Dance Floor, which well, it used to be a like a sort of electropop duo. They were very big in the crunkcore scene, and they arguably probably might be the biggest crunkcore band ever. I mean, I don't know. Broken Side is pretty big, but then again, Blended Dance Floor is huge as well. Well, I mean, they're pretty big today because of the lead singer's allegations and stuff like that. But yeah, they were pretty big. They were pretty much like one of like the pinnacles of like scene music and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, so this album is labeled as primarily like an electropop album with some crunkcore, some dance pop, some pop rap, and electroclash. And yes, I'm reading the flippin' radio music page. Okay, don't judge me. Okay, I can do what I want. You're not my dad. Anyway, so yeah, so this album is probably, in my opinion, the worst Blood on the Dance Floor album ever. Like, it's awful, absolutely horrible. Like, Davi's vocals just like they're terrible, man. They're annoying and they're some of the worst. Like they're terrible, basically. Yeah. So anyways, all the songs are basically like for the most part are basically like, well, they say that they're basically love songs, but no, they're songs about sex, basically. That's what they are. Yeah, and they are pretty bad. I mean, the screaming's not too bad. I guess. Honestly, for the most part, Blown on the Dance Floor kind of has some pretty good electronic music in their stuff. But it's ruined by the vocals and stuff, which are some of the worst I've ever seen. And the lyrics as well. The lyrics are some of the worst ever. Like, oh man. Like, I don't know. It's just really bad. But yeah. So, anyways, the first song, Let's Start a Riot, is just a flippin' like, just an orchestral instrumental song, which, well, let's be honest, is the best song here, basically. It's pretty much the best song on the album. So yeah, yeah. For the most part, the songs on this album are just this electropop crunkcore sound. Which is yeah. The last three songs on the album, they do not actually have the sort of electropop crunkcore sound that most of them have. The songs "I Hope You Choke" and "Libertine" are purely like alternative rock stuff. But yeah. And Libertine kind of has some post Britpop elements as well, and I Hope You Choke has some like metalcore elements as well. They're not very good songs though. I Hope You Choke still has I mean, it's not a 0 in my opinion, but it's a bad song though. It's like a 4 out of 10 in my opinion. It still has Davi's cringy rap vocals at least. Unfortunately, so yeah. Yeah, and Fallen Star is kind of a little like a little how I forget I forget how it, I think it's like dark wave or something, or like a little bit, which is some sort of like electronic music genre. But I mean, it's definitely better than most of the songs on here, at least. So yeah. Overall, this album is it's one of the worst albums I've ever heard. It's basically a 0, a big fat 0. Yeah. Um. Yep. And like Blood and Dance Floor is probably one of my like, I don't know. maybe top 10 worst artists I've ever heard. Yeah. I still would rather take Blood in the Dance Floor over like Onision or even the Velvet Sundown, believe it or not. Which, I mean, despite the fact that Blood in the Dance Floor's music sounds worse than the Velvet Sundown, I mean, at least Blood in the Dance Floor has never used AI in their music and stuff. I mean, unless the new Blood in the Dance Floor album that's coming out on Halloween is gonna have some AI generated stuff. Which, yes, there's a new Blood in the Dance Floor album coming out on Halloween. Yeah. I hope that doesn't have AI in their stuff. Like, I mean, what the frick am I? I'm sure. I think I was hearing like a, I don't know, garbage truck going by. Um. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. The last album. Yeah. They even released an album last year, which was called OMFG. Yeah. That album was bad too. Well, actually, I think it was more of like an EP. Nope, it's it's labeled as an album on Riot Music, but yeah, but yeah, put it simply, yeah, OMFG is also really bad too. Yeah, the only Blood and Dance Floor album that's really even worth listening to is the Anthem of the Outcast, which is it's actually an EP, but I feel like it's more. I feel like it's more like an album than an EP. It for the most part, it's kind of different compared to like any of their other stuff. It's got a lot of alternative rock, some emo, some metalcore, melodic hardcore stuff in it. Yeah, it's the only album by Blended Dance where that I actually can get down with. Well, at least for like the first 8 tracks, then the album just kind of goes down a little bit. Well, actually, first 9 tracks. Then the album just drops pretty much. Stuff. You know, the next two songs after the 9th track, which is just a remix of one of their other songs. Yeah, those two are bad. And yeah, and then the last song's not bad. So yeah, but it's the only one really worth listening to out of their discography and stuff. So yeah, overall this album, I give it a big fat goose egg, a big fat 0 out of 10. Yeah, will not recommend listening to. Even though I'm gonna link it in the description if you want to listen to it, but yeah, regardless, this album is it's bad, absolutely unlistenable and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, so that's gonna be about it for this review. So hope you all enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next video.